is in the air. Everywhere I look around, love is in the air with every sight and every sound. Here we go. Yes, we are back together. Hello to you. I hope you are having a good weekend. My weekend is okay. Looking out of the window right now, you can see it is a little grey. We have a grey day today. The pigeons are all getting rather excited because love is in the air, as we will find out during today's live stream, which comes to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, it's England. Ooh, love is definitely in the air today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you happy? Yes, we are still allowed to have some fun here in the world, even though a lot of people at the moment are feeling angry, disappointed, even outraged. But yes, it is still possible to have a smile on your face. And of course, sometimes it's nice to be a little bit silly. I must admit, I opened my curtains this morning and I looked outside and I was so pleased to see there was no mushroom cloud in the sky. Isn't it nice? The world is still here. We've managed not to blow ourselves up just yet. Here we go then. Yes, my name is Mr. Duncan. My name is Duncan. I talk about English. You might say that I am one of those up there, up there, in the top of my screen. I am an English addict, and I have a feeling that you might be one of those as well. I hope you are feeling good. Yes, I talk about English. I like English very much. I like the language. I've been learning English since I was born, basically. Maybe that's the reason why I love it so much. Here we go again. Yes, we have made it all the way to the end of another weekend, and also almost halfway through another month. Yes, it's a very romantic weekend, and of course tomorrow it gets even more romantic. We have made it all the way to Sunday. Here we go again. Yes, it's nice to see you very lovely and glad, and I'm happy. I'm so happy that you are here. Very happy, in fact. Yes, as I just mentioned, love is in the air because tomorrow here in the UK it is Valentine's Day. So a lot of people, a lot of men at this very moment are rushing around, panicking. And you know why? Because they've forgotten to buy their sweetheart, their girlfriend, or their wife, or perhaps even boyfriend or husband. They've forgotten to buy a gift. Normally, a box of chocolates will be given and maybe a lovely romantic card as well. But of course, Valentine's Day is not just for those in love. No, it isn't. Valentine's Day is also for those who are looking for love. Maybe they have a person they are in love with, but perhaps that person doesn't know about it. So maybe you are in love with someone from a distance. maybe a work colleague, maybe someone you see every day of your life, but they have no idea just how much you love them, and yet you spend a lot of time near them. Quite often we want to tell someone how we feel about our romantic urges. That's one way of putting it. Love is what we are talking about today, one of the many subjects. Of course, we have Mr. Steve here as well. I was looking through my archive this morning and I came across something I haven't played for a long time, and I can't resist playing it. Who remembers when Mr. Steve was doing his exercises in the studio going way back to 2018? Well, guess what? This morning I found the clip of Mr. Steve doing his physical jerks. Oh, Mr. Steve likes to keep fit. He really does. I haven't seen that for a very long time, and it still makes me laugh. Mr. Steve likes to keep fit. He really does. He is the sort of person who likes to go out running. He will often do some exercises at the weekend. He spends a lot of his time these days lying flat on the floor, lifting his legs up, stretching his arms, turning his head from side to side. In fact, sometimes I have to go upstairs and I have to unknot Mr. Steve because all of his limbs have become all tied together. He gets very carried away sometimes when he's exercising. Hello, everybody. Are you in the mood for love? We have a little bit of love in the air. I think it's a nice thing to do, to be honest with you, especially at the moment because everyone is getting annoyed. They are getting their knickers in a twist over all sorts of things. By the way, if you get your knickers in a twist, it means you become angry, frustrated. You lose your cool. You get your knickers in a twist. I love that expression. We also have the live chat. Of course, it would not be an English addict without you joining in on the live chat. Hello there, live chat. Nice to see you here. I wonder who was first on today's live chat. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, very interesting. The champion is back. He is back in town because he has been resting his finger. Now, all I can say is I hope you haven't used any illegal substances to give your finger extra energy. Nothing like that, I hope. Vitas, congratulations. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations to Vitas. You once again are the king of the finger clicking. We have had Beatrice as well. She has been the queen of the finger clicking. A lot of things going on concerning how fast you can click your finger. I think it should be an Olympic sport. I think in the next Summer Olympics, I'm not sure where they're being held. I know where they're not being held. They are definitely not being held in China, the next Olympic Games. I'm not sure where they are being held. Where are the next Olympic Games? The Summer Games, where are they being held? Does anyone know? because I can't remember. But I think finger clicking should be a new sport. So what you have to do, you have to sit down with some other competitors and you all have a little mouse in front of you. One of these things. So you have one of these in front of you. And what you have to do is you have to click 1,000 times within 1 minute. And the fastest person, the person who gets to 1,000 first within 1 minute, is the winner. So I think it would be a great sport in the next Olympic Games, wherever they happen to be, because I don't know. I know at the moment the Winter Olympics are taking place. Am I the only person who has no interest? In fact, I keep forgetting that the Winter Olympics are even taking place. I keep forgetting all about it. It's only when the news talks about it that I remember that there is actually an Olympic Games taking place at the moment. China, the first country to host both the summer and winter Olympic Games, as I understand. Thank you very much. Oh, apparently it will be in France. Oh, very interesting. Now, I am intrigued. I am quite intrigued by that. So the next Olympic Games will be in France. Really? So I think it might be in Paris. Interesting. I'm rather intrigued by that, to be honest. Very nice. Coming up today, we have Mr. Steve joining us in the studio. He went to see his mother yesterday. So don't be too surprised if Mr. Steve looks a little bit worn out and tired, because he had a very long day yesterday seeing his mother. He went all the way to Banbury and he was walking around the streets, the freezing cold streets of Banbury yesterday. Apparently the weather was awful. Whilst I was staying here. I stayed here yesterday preparing a lesson, a new video lesson, which will be published on Wednesday. A busy week this week because on Wednesday it's Mr. Steve's birthday. So Steve will be another year older on Wednesday. However, I will not be here live. We are doing something different on Wednesday. Mr. Steve and myself, we've decided to do something different. Hopefully we will be going out on Wednesday, but there will be a new video lesson. So this Wednesday coming, which will be the 16th of February, it's Mr. Steve's birthday and we will be taking the day off, but there will be a new lesson. So that's what I was doing yesterday. I was busy in the studio yesterday preparing my first outdoor lesson of 2022. So the lesson that I'm going to post on Wednesday will be the first lesson that I've made outside this year, because the weather is slowly getting better, even though today it's not looking very good outside. It's a little bit murky. We've had a lot of rain. But yes, there will be a new lesson on Wednesday. Hello to the live chat. Oh, nice to see so many people here. Hello to... who do we have here? Wow, it's a big list. We have Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. We have Jimmy from Hong Kong. Hello, Jimmy. Now, Jimmy thought the title of today's live stream would be Love is in the Chat. I suppose we could do that. We could do that. Love is in the chat. Everywhere you look around. Love is in the chat. With every sight and every sound. Yeah, I think that works. I think that does work. Well done. Hello also to Maria, Alessandra, Marawa. Hello, Marawa. Apparently, it was your birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Marwa, Marwa, Marwa. Happy birthday, Marwa, for yesterday. I hope you had a good day. Hello also, we have Alessandra. We have Marshmallow. Hello to you. Hello, Edith. We also have Hugo. Hello, Hugo. Hugo Ramiro Hernandez Henao. I like your name, by the way. Although I can't say it fast. So that's as fast as I can actually say your name. Hello also, Florence. Oh, we also have Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. I believe you are staying somewhere else today. You are somewhere else. I won't give too much away because maybe it's your private information. But yes, welcome. I'm glad your internet connection is working well today. Adam, hello, Adam, asks, Mr. Duncan, could you talk a bit about phonetics? It's a very interesting subject. I don't know about you, but I'm always interested. I've always been interested in phonetics. However, most people learning English do not like phonetics. They find them, what's the word? Boring, that's it. A lot of people complain. I have made a lesson. There is a lesson on my YouTube channel all about phonetics. So you can search my channel and just put phonetics, Mr. Duncan, and you will find a lesson all about the various sounds and the symbols. So this is a form of standardized, I suppose you would call them symbols, to show every sound or each sound that exists in all of the English words. Of course, there are phonetics for all languages, but we are just talking about the English language. So yes, there are phonetics that exist in English, and many years ago, even when I was at school, when I was very young, they would teach phonetics to us when we were learning English in our childhood. So quite often phonetics is a way of simplifying or showing the sounds of certain words. So it is an area of English that I'm fascinated with. However, those learning English quite often will complain because they don't like learning about phonetics. So I always find that rather interesting, the difference between the attitude of teachers like myself and students who really don't enjoy certain types of learning. Another type of learning that other students hate is repetition, repeating things. From my own point of view and from my own experience of standing in a classroom teaching students, repeating things is a very good way of learning. It might seem a little bit boring, it might not seem very interesting to many people, but just like phonetics, repeating things can be a very good way of remembering new words, learning pronunciation, and it will increase your word power as well. So as you pick up new words, as you learn new words, you will also increase your vocabulary as well. So from my own point of view, repeating things, repeating sentences or repeating words is a good way of remembering words and also the formation of grammar. Phonetics is concerned with the sounds of certain parts of a word. And quite often they will be shown in the form of symbols. However, these days, phonetics, I don't think phonetics is as popular as it used to be, dare I say. So over the years, I think phonetics has become not as important. However, if you are taking an English exam or an English test, it is quite useful to understand the different sounds that exist in words. So it can be useful, especially if you are going into a specialised field of English. So if you are planning to teach English in your life, in your future, if you want to be a teacher later on, then you do need to have some understanding of the phonetic symbols. So it can be useful, even though a lot of people don't like it. Hello, Palmyra. Mr. Duncan, have you got a gift for Mr. Steve's birthday? There is something waiting for Mr. Steve. I haven't got anything for Valentine's Day. The reason is I was going to get some chocolate, but Steve told me not to get some chocolate. He says, don't get chocolate this year. For Valentine's Day, don't get any chocolate. So I haven't. So I'm not sure if Steve is going to be disappointed tomorrow when he finds out that I've only got a card. He has a card, but I haven't got Mr. Steve any Valentine's chocolates because he told me not to. But on Wednesday there will be a gift for Steve, not as extravagant as last year, because if you remember last year, Steve had his 60th birthday last year. So last year Mr. Steve was 60, and I did some special things on a live stream for Mr. Steve, and he was very happy. If you remember what happened, then you will know exactly what occurred last year. So on Wednesday, it won't be quite as extravagant because it's just a normal birthday on Wednesday for Mr. Steve. Nothing special, but we will be celebrating. Hello, Saturino. Hello, Saturino. It's nice to see you here as well. Aziz Aguo. Aigu. Aziz Aigu. Hello to you. I hope I pronounce your name right. We are taking a break in a few moments, but don't worry. I will be back with more live chat. Excuse me. I just have to do something. There it goes. Job done. Mr. Steve will be here in a few moments. We are going to take a break. Can I first of all say a big thank you, by the way, to, and I'm going to put her name on the screen right now. Thank you very much to Elspeth Horler, who has sent a lovely donation. Hello, Elspeth. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, Elspeth. Elspeth Horler. I hope you are here today, and I hope you are here to hear me give you a big thank you. Thank you very much for sending a lovely donation to my PayPal. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elspeth. And if you want to send a donation as well, you are more than welcome to do so. Don't forget, everything I do for free. It costs nothing to watch my lessons. Everything is free. Everything I do is given away for free. And I've been doing this for over 15 years. And it's always been free. Always. Since 2006. Hello, Tomek. Tomek is here as well. It's nice to see you here. And yes, It is Valentine's Day tomorrow. We are talking about love. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to show an excerpt from one of my lessons as well. We will be looking at a lesson that I made all about the subject of love. In the meantime, it is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons, which will take us up to Mr. Steve. He will be here in around about 5 minutes from now. Don't go away. I don't know about you, but I love hearing gossip. To gossip is to talk freely about another person's life, the things you have heard about another person, regardless of whether you know it to be true or not. The word gossip can be used as a noun or a verb. A person who gossips is a gossip. They like to gossip about other people. The things said are the gossip. You can hear gossip from others. Gossip can be described as hearsay, tittle-tattle, rumour, scandal. You will often find that very small towns and villages will have local gossip. A person who seems to know all about what is happening in the surrounding area is the local gossip. Be careful what you say to her. She is the local gossip around here. So gossip can be the person spreading the rumours or the thing that is being said. Some people like to read about celebrity gossip on the internet or in magazines. A gossipy person will often be reluctant to tell you where they got the gossip from. If you ask them where they got the information, they will often reply with, "A little bird told me." It's time now to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a word or phrase that is used during a certain period of time. Today's buzzword is redact. The word redact means to conceal or hide information which may be unsuitable or sensitive. To conceal parts of printed text that is deemed private or classified is to redact. To edit a report before publication is to redact. The redacted Secret Service report was published yesterday. To censor or obscure something so it cannot be seen is to redact. The leaked memo did not reveal much due to it being heavily redacted. The person doing the redacting is the redactor. The 20-page report was redacted to just a few paragraphs. To redact is to edit, censor, cover, expurgate, suppress. To hide something so it cannot be seen is to redact. Have you ever seen a prefix in an English word? Well, in fact, there are lots of them. In fact, there might be more than you realise. There are many occurrences of prefixes in English words that serve to dramatically change the meaning of the original word. For example, the prefix pseudo before a word denotes something as fake or artificial. For example, pseudoscience refers to a practice of science that has not been accredited or qualified. It is seen as untrue and meritless. Another good example is the prefix quasi, which defines something that appears real but is in fact the opposite. For example, quasi-political. An action appears to be stating an opinion but in fact is doing the opposite. You might say that these two examples have similar meanings. Another example of a prefix is retro. This particular prefix means to go backwards or regress. For example, retromigration, which means return to your place of origin. Migration back to a place of origin. The prefix "un" before a word denotes an opposite meaning, such as unapologetic. There are many prefixes in the English language, some of which take the form of combining words, such as anti, auto, and omni. How many prefix words do you know? And there it was, an excerpt from one of my full English lessons, and can I just say there are lots and lots of English lessons on my YouTube channel. Check them out when you have time. Here he is.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, lovely viewers across the globe. And there are many of you on today, as I have noticed, Mr. Duncan. Despite our horrible weather today, it's miserable outside, it's raining, but inside it's cheerful and upbeat.
Mr. Steve has the sun shining in his heart. By the way, can I just apologise for looking a little bit rough? I haven't had a shave today, and I look slightly rough. In fact, I wasn't prepared. I will be honest with you. I did have to rush around preparing myself for today's live stream.
Well, there's a surprise, Mr. Duncan.
Okay. That's a little...
I was away all day yesterday visiting my mother.
Yes, I mentioned this earlier. That's why Steve looks so delicate today. He's had a whole day with his mother wandering around the streets of Banbury in the freezing cold weather.
Somebody asked, Christina said earlier, how far away is your mother from Much Wenlock? Well, it's about 85 miles.
That's a long way.
It's probably 100 kilometres, something like that. So it took me, or usually takes me, around 1 hour, 40 minutes to travel there. So it's quite a long way. I was a bit tired after the journey back last night in the dark and the rain and the wind. Yes. It was very windy. I felt a bit sort of when I got back.
Well, it's nearly 180 miles.
Yeah, well, yes. By the time we've driven around town and gone to various places. I think I nearly did 200 miles yesterday, which is, what's that in kilometres?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's a lot.
If you want to know what the kilometres are, you can work it out.
Please do. Let us know.
Google it. Anything. We don't need to tell you that because you can work that out on your own. Here we go then. Yes, we are together. It is no ordinary week. We have a special week, of course, tomorrow. It is Valentine's Day, where all of those who are in love and those who are still looking for love, maybe they have someone in their heart that they want to become romantically connected with, but they are too afraid to say anything. And it happens a lot. I think there are many people who go through life with someone that they work with or they are close to, and they love them all the time. They are deeply in love with them, but they never, ever express their feelings.
There's a word for that, isn't there?
Yes.
Unrequited love.
Yes. So maybe love that is not returned, or maybe love that is not received. It is unrequited. But from a distance, it is possible. However, there is good news, because if you are in that situation, there is Valentine's Day, and that is your chance, your opportunity to tell that person in a very subtle way, normally with a card or a gift, that you do actually like them. Not too fast, don't rush it. Don't run up to them and try and kiss them straight away, because you might be arrested, first of all. you might get into a lot of trouble. There are laws against that sort of thing. So if you are going to send something or give something to someone, make sure you still observe the law. We don't want to see anyone ending up in prison.
Well, Palmyra has already had 15 red roses, or 15 roses, a bouquet,
Very nice.
says Palmyra.
From your from your husband
Well,
or someone else?
she didn't specify,
Ooh.
but 15 roses. Roses, of course, being very traditional. Bouquet, nice use of an English word there.
Yes. Well, it's a French.
bouquet.
It's actually a French word,
Yes.
but we use it in English as a bunch, a bouquet, something collected together, a bouquet of flowers, often given on a special occasion, on a wedding or a birthday, and of course Valentine's Day as a show of appreciation if you are in a relationship. So I am going to assume that the roses are from Palmyra's husband.
Maybe we will get confirmation
That's it.
from Palmyra
that's what
on the live chat.
That's what I'm going with.
Thank you for your comments, by the way, on my shirt. Lots of people, many people saying how much they like my black shirt. Well, thank you.
It's unusual. It's very unusual to see you. You look like you're going to a funeral.
Or I could be waiting at your table.
Yes.
I could be a waiter.
You are dressed like a French.
Hand behind my back. Yes, hello.
You are dressed like a French waiter.
Sophisticated. You see, there used to be an advert on the television years ago
Okay.
for a certain brand of chocolates called Black Magic chocolates. Very popular in the UK, and there used to be a man that would deliver them in the advert. It was probably in the 70s and 80s.
It's not Black Magic. It's Milk Tray.
You've ruined it, Mr. Duncan.
Oh,
I think you're right. You are right.
it's Milk.
All
All
because
yes.
the lady loves black magic.
No,
Yes,
it isn't. All because the lady loves Milk Tray.
we all love a bit of black magic. My mother does like dark chocolates, though, and so do I, because there's something about it. So I thought I'd wear black, be sophisticated, look elegant today, because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for your comments.
Yes, Steve looks like a French waiter.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like you should be coming up to me outside a French cafe and asking me for my order.
This is something that I've got this black shirt because, as many of you know, I'm in choirs, so I sing in choirs, and quite often there's the two forms of dress in a choir. Usually for men, it's either a dinner jacket and a bow tie, or if it's a bit more informal, it'll be a black long sleeve shirt.
You could have.
So that's what this. I've got this because I used to wear it in the choirs.
Good. You should have had your dicky bow. You could have had a red dicky bow.
I could have done.
Hands up.
Yes.
Who wants to see Mr. Steve's red dicky? Do you want to see it? No, apparently they don't. They said, Mr. Steve, please keep your red dicky to yourself. We have a few hellos to say. Can I say hello to Jonathan? Jonathan Eduardo Arbando Trulio.
Well done.
That's a long name. And also, can I say hello to Y Ming Ko? Hello, Y Ming Ko, who says hello as well. Where are you watching at the moment?
It's somebody's birthday as well.
It was yesterday.
Oh, somebody says, hi, today's my birthday. Kien Tran.
Oh, hello, Kien. Kien
If we
Tran.
pronounce that correctly.
Kien Tran, happy birthday for today. And I
Yes.
suppose I should give you a round of applause for your birthday. Kien Tran. Is that right?
I think we've pronounced that correctly.
Kien Tran, happy birthday to you.
Where are you from? Whereabouts are you from? I'm guessing.
It will be Vietnam.
Vietnam.
I think you are in Vietnam. Please tell me. And can I wish you a very happy day? Have a super duper birthday. Best wishes from England on this very wet, very, very rainy day.
Yes, Palmyra, you haven't told us yet who gave you the red roses, or the 15 roses that you mentioned earlier. So we'd love to know.
And why 15? Why? Is that significant?
It's probably expensive. 15 roses is probably expensive.
Well,
5 roses, the more roses you get, because roses are expensive in a bouquet of flowers.
They are at the moment.
So if you get 15, that's a nice amount to have.
But at the moment, flowers are expensive because you can't get them. You can't get flowers.
Can't you?
They're in very short supply because of, well, you know why, all of the usual reasons. Nothing to do with Ukraine, but it is to do with Brexit and all sorts of things like that. So there have been difficulties, there have been problems getting red roses and flowers, which is a bit disappointing because tomorrow is...
We saw a programme about, yes, exactly, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
The Netherlands produce a lot of flowers.
We did see that programme.
We saw that programme, and, that's it's a shame that we can't get... I don't know why that is. Maybe a certain person who lives there can tell us why we're not getting more of your flowers.
Well, it's a supply chain. It's the problem with the supply. Talking of romance, Mr. Steve came back yesterday from his mother's, and he brought something for me. And I thought it was going to be something for Valentine's Day.
I said to you, didn't I?
You said, I've got a gift for you. I've bought something in town when I was out with my mother. And he gave me a gift. I'm not sure if this is for Valentine's Day. He hasn't yet told me if this is my Valentine's gift. But Mr. Steve gave me a tub or a container of dead mealworms. Steve, is this my gift?
Romance isn't dead.
This is very romantic.
In our relationship.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, the dead maggots.
Thank you.
I don't know what calciworms are, but they look like dried maggots.
Yes, they're mealworms.
They're mealworms, so yes. So you love to feed the birds, so I thought I would buy those for you, and they were on special offer. And there they are. In fact, it was a bit disconcerting, something slightly upsetting.
Yes.
That when you move the tub, it looks like they were all still alive inside.
Steve thought they were still alive.
Because when you move the tub slightly, they sort of move because they're very dry.
Yes.
I can assure you they are dead.
Would you like a close look? So if anyone is having their dinner, if you are having your lunch at the moment, you might want to look away from the screen right now. So this is what Mr. Steve bought me as my Valentine's gift. Oh, yes. And they say that romance is dead. It isn't. Look at that. Oh, Mr. Steve, thank you very much.
Delicious.
Yes, they look so delicious. I'm just worried now. Is that going to be our Valentine's meal? Are you going to fry those with some rice?
Well, they're probably very high in protein. So that's probably why the birds like them. But probably they might not like them in the winter because they might not be very high in energy. They're probably good if they want to feed their young in the spring.
They're disgusting.
But maybe in the winter, not ideal.
I really can't believe that Mr. Steve bought me a large container full of dead mealworms. I really did think that was my Valentine's gift.
Palmyra says in Lithuania, men like to fork out. If you fork out, it means you're spending money.
Yes.
A lot of money. They like to fork out on flowers.
Fork.
So, well, if you like flowers and then maybe, and you want a man, you go to Lithuania and you'll be showered in gifts and flowers. Right, interesting. I wonder where they get the flowers from.
I just want to mention that not everywhere has Valentine's Day tomorrow. I know certain countries have their Valentine's Day on other days or different days to us, but there are other celebrations as well. There's Lover's Day, quite often celebrated in Asia. China has Lover's Day, I believe in Vietnam as well, and I think Japan, they have a special day, Lover's Day. So Lovers' Day is the day when people who are in love or have a lover, they celebrate that day, or maybe they remember someone who they loved who is no longer with them. Maybe they split up, maybe they left them, maybe they passed away. So there are many ways of expressing that.
Mujib Rahman, who was, I hope you're still on, mentioned that it's their wedding anniversary today, which is interesting considering that, so you didn't get married, you got married one day before Valentine's Day, assuming that you celebrate that in your country.
Yes.
So happy wedding anniversary to you today. So we've got birthdays, we've got wedding anniversaries, all sorts of things. So there we go. Vitas has been out shopping.
Oh, for what?
Well, it's where Vitas has been shopping, which I find quite interesting.
An adult toy shop.
No, Vitas has been country hopping. So it must be very useful that you can go across to Poland.
Really?
Yes, where the groceries are much cheaper.
Wow.
We can't do that where we are without. Well, we'd have to get on a boat or a plane.
Yes. It's a little bit further than you.
Remind us where you live, Vitas. It's a country next to Poland. Is it Russia?
Well, I would imagine that there are a lot of different types of food you can buy in Poland as well. Different types of things to go with meals, salads. I believe there are lots of different types of food like that. And I would imagine also cakes as well, bread, things like that. We are talking about romance today, and I couldn't resist, Mr. Steve, showing those lovely romantic love pigeons. Do you remember?
I do.
Yes. Well,
yes.
We're going to take a look at them now. They are in love. They are sharing a little bit of love together. Oh, isn't that lovely? I couldn't resist showing that.
The love pigeons. Yes, I expect we'll be seeing lots of those when spring arrives. In fact, they're starting to get a little amorous with each other now, the pigeons, even though it's still cold.
I could hear them this morning. Some of them have already started their courting. You can always hear the sound.
That is a sound I cannot create.
That's the sound of a pigeon.
I cannot make that.
Okay.
That's a sick pigeon. I can't do that. You can roll your R's. I find that very difficult. And making a. Well, I can do it a bit. No, I can't do it.
Okay, you're just. I can literally hear people with headphones falling to the floor.
Louis the 17th reminds us that Valentine's Day isn't really about giving gifts. Rather, it's the day we celebrate the spirit of love while honouring Saint Valentine of Rome, who was martyred in the 3rd century AD.
Hence the reason why we say Saint Valentine's.
Yes, martyred. Why was he martyred? Presumably something to do with love. Interestingly enough, my name, Stephen, or Steve, is in biblical terms is the name of a martyr. I martyr myself every week when I come on this
So,
show.
so nothing to do with love.
Nothing to do with love, just to do with me.
Of course, love.
But yeah.
Love has always been a thing. Love has always been a thing. Even with the ancient the Romans and the ancient Greeks, they all had their gods. The god of love. So we are talking. Who are we talking? We're talking Eros. Eros. Now I can never remember. Is Eros the Greek god, or the Roman god?
Yes.
Because there was Eros, and who was the other one?
I don't know. I can't remember. We're showing our ignorance now between.
No,
our
I'm not
Greek
showing my ignorance.
And,
I haven't.
our Greek gods or our Roman gods.
Well, there were just too many of them.
Yes, there were. Yes,
There were too many gods. I can see now why they decided to cut down on the number of gods, because it's just confusing. It's too confusing. And that's why later everyone just decided to have one. It's much easier.
Vitas is in Lithuania, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought it was Lithuania, but I was too afraid to say. But yes, because I remember when we were talking about my watch.
Cupid.
So Cupid is the other one. Cupid and Eros. But I'm sure there was another one. There is another one, and it's on the tip of my tongue.
But Louis XVII says Eros is Cupid.
Aphrodite.
That's it.
Aphrodite.
Venus.
Because
the
of
goddess
course,
love.
if we take something that improves our our love, we call it an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
Hence, did you just burp?
Sorry?
Did you just burp?
No.
I just got a blast of something.
I
there.
don't know what you're talking about,
you
Mr.
just-
Duncan.
What was that? It smelled like
Don't be ridiculous.
It
As if
smell-
I do that live on air, Mr.
it smelled
Duncan.
like lasagna.
Bananas,
Did-
actually.
Did you have lasagna yesterday with your mum?
I did. I had stomachache last night. I hope my mother's all right.
Yes, Eros. Here we go, Steve. Eros is the Greek god. That's it. But there's also Aphrodite. Aphrodite. And it's Venus. I didn't realise there were so many people
Right.
connected to Venus, of course.
Yeah.
Venus. Venus de Milo. The famous carving, the famous statue.
Maybe we should have done some research before
Although-
we came on today.
Although sadly, well, I'm just telling you something now. Venus de Milo, the famous sculpture, but the only problem is she has no arms, and I don't know why.
Well, it was a lover's tiff, probably. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing? We're talking about love then today, are we, Mr.
You may have
Duncan?
noticed we are talking about love. Have you read the news this morning, Mr. Steve? Did you hear the story about the riots and the protests taking place in New Zealand?
Yes.
And apparently they've been going on now for
New
2
Zealand.
New Zealand.
Okay, and Canada.
Yes.
And France.
But in New Zealand, apparently they've been all gathering outside the Parliament building, and
What are they protesting about?
the usual thing. The
Is it
thing,
lockdowns?
The thing that we're not going to mention that.
Right.
But apparently to drive the people away, Steve, to drive the people away. I love this story. They've been playing the music of a certain star, a certain pop star,
Interesting.
to drive them away. I was
Interesting.
wondering if you knew who it was.
Well, it's interesting because if you want to annoy your neighbours, you play music that you think that they wouldn't like.
Yes.
So this is obviously, and quite often, if you play loud classical music, that will annoy people.
Not classical.
So it's a pop star that lots of people. Well, some people must have liked the sound of this music.
I don't
Maybe
know.
the majority don't.
Well, the idea was the people playing the music thought it would drive them away.
Oh, well.
But I'm not sure if it did work.
Raphael suggests Justin Bieber.
That would drive everyone away from the planet. No, it's actually... I love this story so much. It just made me laugh. It is actually Barry Manilow.
Right. Okay.
Although I'm not sure if that is Barry Manilow. It looks like a waxwork.
He's had a lot of work done there, hasn't he?
What has happened to Barry Manilow? He looks like a mannequin. He looks like that guy from Star Trek, the one that can shapeshift.
Yes, that's too much.
That's too much.
Facial reconstruction. They see the hair looks. I mean, he looks good.
He looks like.
Oh,
it looks like.
Yeah.
That is not good. Can
No.
I just say, if you are planning on having some plastic surgery, don't do this. Don't go this far. This is the point where you never want to reach, where you actually look as if you've melted in the sun. Here's another one. Oh my God, that's not much better.
That looks like well.
I was trying to find a good picture of Barry Manilow, but I couldn't. But apparently they're playing Barry Manilow songs to drive away the protesters.
But surely a lot of the women would stay because Barry Manilow is essentially, I would have thought a lot of his songs were directed at women and he'd be very popular with women. So maybe it's driving the aggressive men away, but the women will stay. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, maybe there were. Well, there probably weren't very many men protesting.
But what Barry?
Probably weren't very many women protesting. Probably it was mainly men. So they knew that Barry Manilow would scare them off. I think that's a very, very good tactic.
Look, what they should have done is just shown his face. What's happened? I think he's turned into a large plastic mannequin. Come on back. Now, I know I shouldn't be picking on people's appearances, but come on. No. Barry, no. Don't do that.
Talking of romance, something's going on here between Tomek and Vittoria.
Okay.
Yes, Tomek's declaring his love for Vittoria.
Uh-huh.
I'm very jealous. I've got to say, I was hoping for a Valentine's card, but
Wow.
looks like that's gone out of the window.
That's incredible.
Well,
I was going to ask. I was going to ask the obvious question, Steve, which
Yes.
is, are you getting anything for Valentine's Day? Are you sending a card to someone? Or
Yes.
do you observe Valentine's Day, or do you have your own special Valentine's Day that is on a different day? So it's not on the 14th of February, it is on a different day during the year.
yes, exactly. I mean, what makes people go to that? They must be so frightened of losing their good looks and getting older that they are driven to taking drastic measures to keep themselves attracted to their fans. They think that...
What do you want about?
Barry Manilow.
That wasn't what I was taught. I just said to you, what? That has nothing to do with what I just said.
Well, you obviously weren't listening to me at all. I was just commenting on the Barry Manilow picture because people were talking about the Barry Manilow picture.
So anyone out there, are you doing anything for Valentine's Day? I might send this person a card. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything because Mr. Steve gave me a bucket of mealworms yesterday.
That's all you deserve.
That's all.
Yes, Vittoria's been married for 16 years, but, that could all be ending after tomorrow.
Well, apparently Lewis has been married for many, many years.
Yes. Yeah, who has been... It's not a competition, but who has been married for the longest? Who is watching us today? I wonder. Do you think Lewis would win?
We will make it into a competition. No, not really. I'm joking. It's not a competition. But how long have you been married? Maybe you've been together. Not everyone gets married. Not everyone wants to get married. Some people don't. They choose not to because they don't want to. They don't want to ruin the good thing that they've got.
Some people seem to be receiving cards already for Valentine's Day.
Good.
Maybe, I wonder why that is.
Well, I suppose...
Is it on the same day?
Yes, well, the 14th. But some people can receive them maybe if you're visiting someone who is far away, or maybe you've left a surprise for your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other. That's a great word, by the way, or phrase. Significant other. Your partner.
Yes, they would. They often say that at work. If there is a work meeting and you can bring a partner along, they don't use the word partner. They say you can bring your significant other. Vitas has told a funny joke. My wife always told me that if I wanted breakfast in bed, then I would have to sleep in the kitchen. That's a funny one.
That's actually quite good.
Yes. Yeah, so thank you very much for that. Happy birthday in advance. Thank you, Palmyra.
That's one of your good ones.
I don't need any plastic surgery. Not yet, thank you.
No. Well, not on his face anyway. Everywhere else, there are some things they could change, maybe, with a little bit of plastic surgery, make some things smaller and maybe some things a little larger. That's all I'm saying.
We won't go into that.
So how long have you been married for? How long have you been together in a relationship? If you have a relationship, if you're married, if you're seeing someone, if you're having a lovely, lovely, love time, how long has it been going on for?
So are you going to display some words, Mr. Duncan, that is connected with amour?
Yes, we have some words coming up, but as we are talking about love, we are going to take a short break because we're going to have a look at an excerpt from one of my lessons that I made quite a long time ago, but it is still a good one. We have some excerpts from my lesson that is all about the subject we are talking about today, which is love. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Since the moment I first saw you, I knew that I must have you. You are the one I need. Only you can satisfy my desire. It was meant to be as soon as you came in the room. I must be with you. I must hold you. I have to have my lips near you. Please be mine.
Yeah, baby, let's do it.
In this lesson, we will talk about something we all feel, we all need, we wish to give, but also something that can be hard to find or receive. A word that can bring both happiness and sorrow into our lives. In today's lesson, we will take a look at that magical four-letter word, L-O-V-E. Love. The word love means a strong feeling of affection, the emotional bond between two people who are very close to each other, the physical or sexual attraction felt by one person towards another. To have an interest in something which gives you great pleasure, such as a hobby or an interest. What is love? We know that it is not tangible. It cannot be held in our hands. Yet, to most people, love is a real thing. It reaches both from us and into us. It exists in our mind, but lives in our heart. There are various types of love which have different paths and emotions connected to them. Familial love, the love of a person through a family tie, such as the love of a mother towards her son. Platonic love, a close love shared by two people, but without the sexual relationship, although the earlier definition of this phrase meant something quite different. Unrequited love, a love that has been given but not returned. He loves her, but she does not love him. Puppy love, the innocent or naive love experienced by a young person. Of all the subjects ever written about in literature, love must surely be the most common one used. Many poets and authors have strived over the years to capture the essence of what love is. Many have tried and many have failed. Famous authors such as Emily Bronte, Catherine Cookson, Charles Dickens and the playwright William Shakespeare have all used the theme of love in their works. Every year, all around the world, those in love get the chance to show their affection to a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe to someone who does not even know that they are loved. For example, here in the UK, we have Valentine's Day. This happens each year on February 14th. Cards and chocolates are given as tokens of love, and some couples will become engaged on this date. The words used between lovers tend to be special and are spoken as a way of showing that the other person is dear to them. Words such as angel, you are my angel. Darling, I miss you, darling. Sweetheart, I love you, sweetheart. Treasure, you are my treasure. Honey, kiss me, honey. Baby, call me later, baby. Precious, you are my precious. Honey bunny, hold me, honey bunny. We call these terms of endearment. Love comes and love goes. Losing love or ending a close relationship is a hard thing to do. Most people go through this experience at some point, and the younger you are when it happens, then the more distressing it seems to feel. You feel empty. Your life seems pointless. Your heart is broken, but such is life. The knocks you suffer from lost love will never leave you. Just like all of life's experiences, you have to take the rough with the smooth.
And there it was, my love lesson. If you like my lessons, by the way, guess what? There is a new lesson coming this Wednesday. Love is in the air. It sure is.
Yes, I found out why Tomek has had his Valentine's cards today.
Okay.
Because where he lives in the Netherlands, they don't. There's no postal service on a Monday.
How strange.
So if you want to have your cards delivered using the postal service, then you have to have them delivered the day before, if it's Monday, when that event is, which of course is Valentine's Day tomorrow.
That's strange. I did not know that. See, there is a new thing we've learnt.
Whereas we don't get the postal service on a Sunday
Yes.
in the UK. There's no postal service, although Amazon will deliver, of course.
So that must mean that in the Netherlands you do have a postal service on Sunday.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that must be it.
Sounds good.
Laura Molinaro from Italy says, I met my partner the day after Valentine's Day 6 years ago,
Nice.
also known as St. Faust's Day
Huh?
in Italy, and it's the festival of single people.
Huh?
The day after, and you met your partner. How wonderful. We've had quite a lot of answers or posts about people's relationships and how long they've been together.
Yes. Mainly
Not
the parents.
Yes, not necessarily. Oh, Sunday. No delivery on a Sunday either.
Oh.
So you must have had it yesterday then.
Okay.
Right, so fine, yeah, why not? So Tomek's parents have been talking of Tomek, his parents have been together for 47 years. Saturino's parents have been together for 53 years. Palmira's parents 52 years. But so far, way out in front, not that it's a competition.
So when you say together, they're married.
Married. Well, yes, been together.
That's great.
Rosa says her sister and her husband, so her sister and her brother-in-law, as we would say, have been together for 65 years.
That's incredible.
Yes. One is 83 years old and the other is 87.
And as I understand it, they are still going strong.
Yes, so that's fantastic. There are names you give to every decade, aren't there? Diamond and gold, don't they? But I can't remember what those all are now.
No, they I think it's diamond. I'm sure it is 60. I think over 60 is diamond. 70 is platinum.
We know that, of course. We know
Platinum.
that.
And of course, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh were together for 70 years. They were married for 70 years. Can you imagine that? And, and by the way, Tomek, yes, Tomek has been in a relationship. He's had one. He's been having his relationship 11 years.
One of his relationships.
11 years. You probably shouldn't say that.
How many years on the have this relationship been going on? Do you think 3 years? So have you told your partner about this relationship? That's quite important.
Those wondering, by the way, we've known each other for 32 years.
32. Yes.
We've known each other for 32 years, and that's why we have such a good rapport with each other. We communicate. It's almost as if I know exactly what Mr. Steve is
going to say.
Like that.
Louis XVII says, talks about different types of love, talks about romantic love, which is very Roman.
Yes.
Very Italian. Platonic love.
Platonic.
We talked about platonic love.
I did mention that in the lesson that we just watched. Platonic love is a kind of love, a close friendship, two people that have a close bond without the sexual relationship. Or as I like to say it, anyone who's been married for more than 5 years. They all eventually become platonic. Trust me.
And then he also mentions unrequited love, which we've mentioned before, and says very sadly that it's the story of his life. Well, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear in the future that you have found true love, and maybe that will happen today. Or, yes, we want to hear it if it happens.
Yes.
But thank you for your continuing messages on the live chat. It's lovely to read them out.
Yes.
Right, okay. Tomek says monogamy is not in our nature. Stupid culture forces us to get married and all that jazz.
Well, of course, monogamy is the practice of staying faithful in a relationship. So two people will meet, they will get together, and they will kiss, and then they will get married, and maybe other things will occur as well, which I can't mention. And that's it. And
Well-
they stay together, they stay faithful forever and ever, although there are people who believe that that is not the case. Even some religions allow a person to get married more than once. I believe is it the Mormons?
Well, there are certain religions where you can, the man can have several partners.
Yes, get married, have several
Can't they?
wives.
Yes. Yes, there are certain religions where that is allowed.
So you have monogamy, which is together, and you have polygamy. Is that right?
Polygamy.
Polygamy.
Yeah, I think, yes.
I don't know what
Or
polygamy.
Yes, it might be.
Polygamy.
But yes, so where people... well, you could also describe that as somebody who was promiscuous, couldn't you? Whereas they have lots of different partners, you could say that it's probably isn't a natural state to be in a state of marriage with one person for a long period of time, but that's what civilization has devised
Yes.
as a way to make society more cohesive and more robust,
Yes.
and that children could be brought up in this in this sort of stable environment. It's all helps with the continuation of the species and
Yes.
all that. But I think it tends to wear thin after a number of years.
Well-
Once you brought the children up,
Okay, Steve.
well, we won't get into that
You're
debate.
you're off into. You were doing well, but then there was no full stop, and it just carried on.
Yeah, that is a debate. I mean, most animals aren't monogamous. Some are.
Well,
Some are.
Many birds are.
Yes, I know.
They will mate for life.
Yeah, some of them do. But
Pigeons do. Apparently, they find a partner and they mate for life. Apparently, I don't know how true that is. Maybe they're just pretending to be faithful, and then the
Yes.
pigeon is sneaking off during the day to have relations with other pigeons.
So it's probably not a natural state. That probably is correct.
Yeah. But it brings order and civilized behaviour. I suppose religion is where it all comes from, because that's really the basis of that structure. It is a structure, or else we would just be chasing each other around all the time,
It definitely is.
trying to make love to each other.
It definitely is in the Church of England. That definitely is
Anyway,
a sort of founding feature.
anyway.
Is the monogamous relationship.
Anyway, we have some words and phrases connected to love. I think we will have a look at those. Would you like to have a look at those? I wonder if David Starkey wants to have a look. David Starkey, do you want to have a look at the love words and phrases? Yes?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay,
We
David.
can continue.
David Starkey says yes, so we will. Here we are then. Love words and phrases. If I can find my little thing, there it is. Love is in the air. A great song, by the way. And I suppose it would be hard not to talk about love without talking about music. Think of all the music, all of the songs. I would imagine of all the themes and of all the subjects that songs have been written about over the years, I would imagine that love is the big one,
It's got to be the main sort of driving factor behind people writing music and love songs.
The theme.
Well, it's either religion or love, isn't it?
Okay.
But certainly in classical music, religion is the big driving
Yes,
force behind music.
The pop charts are full of those religious songs.
Well, yes, that's what I was about to say. But in the pop charts, then it's love. Where you talk about it. But of course, as my mother always points out, you didn't talk about this sort of thing when you grew up, when my parents were growing up.
What sort of thing?
Express your love openly in public. in the way that people do now. And
You know that's all
on
rubbish.
Facebook and all that,
I have a belief, by the way, the more prudish, the more reserved a society is, the more there is going on behind the scenes without other people knowing. The Victorians were very prudish, and apparently they were the worst for being unfaithful and jumping into bed with each other. And yet on the surface it would appear that the Victorians were all just lovely and pure, but underneath they were not. Even Queen Victoria liked to look at other men. Yes.
Well, you can look but not touch.
Well,
as is the phrase that is commonly used.
Let's just say she did not just look. So we are looking at some words. Here's one that Steve mentioned earlier. How about a little bit of romance? An atmosphere where love is in the air. Maybe you are feeling attracted to another person. You feel as if you want to express your love. So we often talk about romance. We can also use romance, of course, when we are talking about art. Different stages of art. The romantics, certain areas or classes, or the classification of certain types of art. We often talk about the romantics or romanticism. So it's quite often used in art, including poetry as well. Love in poetry. It's everywhere. It's all around us.
And of course, if you're romancing somebody or romance, it's those types of it's those behaviours that you use to express your love for somebody, isn't it?
Yes.
An act of romance would be giving somebody a Valentine's card, would be buying somebody a bunch of roses, a bouquet of flowers, would be taking somebody out for a meal.
Yes.
Being romantic is something that people like. People like to be romanced. It means that you might take someone on a dance.
Yes.
It's just different ways that you use to express your feelings for somebody.
So in this state, we are using this as a noun. So it describes the actual state of being in a romantic situation. So something that is romantic, we are describing its appearance. It is romantic. It appears to be a romantic dinner.
Yes.
So you are talking about the visual, how it appears as an adjective. And then, of course, you can romance someone. You are actually doing it. You are romancing someone. You are maybe doing something romantic, and we are using that verbally. So there are many ways and many different ways of using the word romance.
A lot of people say, because of course relationships, ultimately if you're in love with somebody and you're going to be in a relationship together, then obviously sex is going to come into that. But you know it's often a lot of people will say in relationships that they want the romance first.
Yes.
And let the romance last for a long period of time. Because then it makes it more exciting. It gets more and more exciting. The excitement builds over the days, the weeks, the months, and then suddenly it's all a big disappointment.
That's it.
No, but the actual the thought of what might happen, the romance is often more exciting than the actual event itself.
You are giving so much away there. But I think it's natural. I think it's a natural occurrence when all of the love and the heat. That's a good one. The heat of a relationship. Once it has cooled down, then you have other things. You have respect. You have companionship. You have trust. You have something that you can share together. So there are small moments of time. I often say to Steve that for me, the most important moments in a relationship are the very small, insignificant moments that seem to come and go.
Just like yesterday when I gave you a bucket of dried maggots.
That was great.
That was unexpected romance, wasn't it, Mr. Duncan?
That was the highlight of my year so far.
Everybody likes a bit of romance. You
Yes.
don't want to. You don't want to think that you got to make the other person work a bit.
Hmm.
You know where it's going to end up.
Yes.
But you've got to make them work a bit for it.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah.
That's not very romantic.
Yes, make them work for it. Take you out for a meal, buy you some flowers. The thing is, though, if you let that carry on for too long, then the person that is romancing you, if you won't give in to their amorous needs,
Advances.
their advances, it depends on whether you're waiting for marriage, of course, before you consummate the relationship.
Hello, Eva. Eva Mess is here. Hello, Eva. Oh, hello to Claudia. Claudia, welcome to the live chat. Nice to see Claudia here.
Hello. Yes, it is. Consummate a relationship.
Yes, if you consummate, normally used in marriage. So when we're talking about a newly formed marriage, we often consummate. It means they make the the relationship official by joining together.
Sex. Yeah, basically.
I was going to say it nicely. I'm trying to be romantic. They join together physically.
Yes.
They like to show their love. They express it with their bodies.
Well, of course, legally, I don't know if it's still the case now, but certainly it used to be in this country
Okay.
that you could divorce, because it was it used to be very difficult to get a divorce. It's much easier now, but years ago it didn't used to be. But you can get it. Used to be able to get divorced from somebody if the marriage hadn't been consummated.
Yes.
So if you were together for a week or 2 weeks and you decided you wanted to change your mind, as long as you hadn't had sex, you could
Okay,
just
Steve.
divorce them very, very easily.
I do wish you'd
the
stop-
marriage has not been consummated,
Steve,
and
stop
can be
using.
annulled.
You can only use that word so often on YouTube before it flags, and then we're taken off. But yes, divorces happen all the time. In fact, most people get divorced before they get married these days. They have a trial divorce. They just move in together and then split up straight away. And they say, shall we have a trial divorce just in case it doesn't work out?
Trying to work out how Tomix. Thank you for your lovely comment. He doesn't want any maggots though.
I don't
That's
know
a gift.
Okay.
That's fine. But after 30 years, maybe you'd be more accepting of that as a gift. But then again, you'd have to be interested in birds.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you are interested in birds anyway, but not the feathering kind.
Okay,
not the feathered kind. The human kind, birds.
Okay.
That's what we say.
You
It's the
just-
slang word
Steve,
for women in the UK.
Remember
birds.
last week when you said I rambled?
Yeah, well, I was just explaining a word.
Yes. Well, what word were you explaining?
Birds. It's
Oh,
a
I see.
slang word for women in the UK.
Well, you don't say that now. That's about as
I know.
sexist as it gets.
I think you can still say it.
I don't think you can call a woman a bird now without getting slapped in the face or
You'd
kicked.
probably up north would be all right.
Okay, Steve.
But not in London. I shouldn't think you'd get away with it there, but you might get away with it, in other parts of the UK where people aren't so politically correct
Okay.
and aren't worried about these sorts of things.
Okay, Steve. Here's another one.
We'll
Steve.
try it in Much Wenlock.
Okay, Steve. We're moving on. Passion. So this is the thing that happens when you first begin a relationship. You have passion. The feeling, it is a strong desire that both people share. So they want to be together. They want to have a little bit of passion, romance, passion. We often see these two things as being the same thing, to be honest. Passion and romance often are intertwined together. So where there is romance, there is often passion, the feeling, the strong feeling that you have towards someone.
Passion.
A moment of passion.
Now
You
I
can,
feel passionately about you.
you can you can have a moment of passion, a moment where you suddenly let yourself go and you express all of your true feelings in a moment.
Pupils dilate.
Do they?
Apparently, yes. If you're gazing into somebody's eyes that you love, your pupils dilate, which means they get bigger.
It's not the only thing
That's not the only thing, no, exactly. So if you see someone's pupils dilating, then you know that you're in love. They're in love with you. Oh no! Yes, exactly. Yes, you're not looking at your own eyes.
You are.
Well, you could look in the mirror, and your pupils could dilate, and then you know you're in love with yourself.
You're really explaining that so well.
Yes.
Of course, we can also have a crime of passion. So something you've done, you commit a crime, you do something really horrible, brutal. Maybe you murder someone, maybe a love rival, maybe someone was trying to take your wife away from you and you stab them or shoot them, or maybe you push them out of a window.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the majority, but I would imagine a large number of crimes, murders are committed because of, out of love, love rivalry, and people cheating on their partners, etc., etc.
That's why we call it a crime of passion.
Crime of passion. Yes, I don't think it's any excuse under the law, but
no.
Nevertheless, it does happen.
I don't think anyone has ever got away with murder.
We've all felt that anger, haven't we, when our partners we found out they've cheated on us, or boyfriends or girlfriends, or they're seeing somebody else. Maybe they're trying to make you jealous, and they're going out for a date with somebody else, and your friend says, "Oh, they saw your love out on a date with another person."
Yeah.
How did you feel? That horrible feeling. It's the worst feeling in the world when that happens. You could be driven to a crime, particularly if you were married, and it can really arouse the passions, the emotions.
Okay. So a crime of passion. What about you, David Starkey? Do you think crime of passion is a good thing or not? Oh, no, I don't think Dr. David Starkey likes.
Does anybody know who Dr. David Starkey is?
It doesn't matter, Steve. Don't draw attention to it.
Okay.
It's just a funny thing that I'm including. You don't have to announce it.
Jealousy.
Jealousy.
Now, there is a word that can be used in connection with love. Jealousy.
Okay.
Jealous of another person.
We were talking about the French language. Well, what about this one? Amour. There was a song, wasn't there? Called Amour. I think it's been done by many people, including Julio Iglesias. I think he had a hit with it. But
Julio Iglesias was playing in a restaurant that I was at with my mother yesterday.
What, live? He was actually there in Banbury.
Yes, he was, yeah.
I find it very hard to believe that Julio Iglesias was in Banbury yesterday singing to you and your mum. I don't think that happened.
He was playing over the loudspeakers.
Okay.
Burning love. Yes, you can have a burning love. When it's horrible, isn't it? That feeling that when you're younger, it doesn't happen I don't know if it happens when you're older. That you get this burning love. It just consumes you, doesn't it? That is a good word to use when you're in love with somebody, but you can't be with them, or they don't want to be with you. If it's unrequited love, it's just a horrible feeling.
Yeah, it's. I suppose it is.
So that is a good phrase to you.
I wouldn't know about that. I wouldn't know anything.
Obviously not. No.
So we talked about terms of endearment earlier. Terms of endearment. You might give your partner a name. You might describe this sort of behaviour as lovey-dovey.
Yes.
Something that's lovey-dovey.
Oh.
So in a relationship, you're being all, oh, baby, I love you. Oh, darling, you're my honey bun. Oh, you're my sugar pie. You are all lovey-dovey.
If you see people in public...
Yes.
Which you never really used to see in the UK. People wouldn't, it's becoming more common now. It's sort of out for a meal, a young couple, and they're all sort of holding hands and maybe gazing into each other's eyes.
Oh, that's all right.
Maybe a little kiss. You would say, oh, that's very lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
It's, that kind of almost sickening in a way. Other people watching, particularly if your relationship isn't going very well or you're looking for love and you haven't found love, when you see other people doing it, it can be a bit sickening to watch.
Some people don't like walking through the park and they see people sitting on the park benches kissing and cuddling, and they get really quite passionate in their their moment of romance. So there are people who really feel quite, I don't want to see that. Maybe a man and a woman, a young man and a lady, or maybe two ladies having a kiss, or maybe two men having a kiss and a cuddle. Ooh,
Shocking.
shocking. That's shocking, Mr. Steve.
Puppy love.
Ah,
Is that one of your expressions?
I haven't got it here.
We've had that suggested by Tomek.
Young love. Young love. When you are
yes.
young and maybe you fall in love with your classmate or maybe your teacher. What? You have puppy love. Puppy love is young love. When you don't really know what is happening. You feel love, but you don't know how to express it. It's just puppy love. Puppy love. There was a song, and they called it Puppy Love. Ha, ha, ha.
That was, can't remember his name.
Great. That's good.
One of go on, tell me, Mr. Duncan.
Donny Osmond.
Donny Osmond, that's it, yes.
Donny Osmond, one of the Osmonds. They were Mormons. They were Mormons.
They were, so
They
yes. So maybe they
I
had,
wonder how many wives Donny Osmond has. Maybe 3, 4, maybe a whole house full of wives chasing him around.
Yes, so thanks for that.
Lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey. Lovey-dovey. Well, you could say those pigeons were being lovey-dovey with
They
each
were.
other.
We will look at the pigeons again a little bit later on. Smooch. So again, this is two people, maybe they are close together, maybe they are holding each other, they are having a little romantic moment, they are in very close proximity, they are close together. They're not necessarily kissing, but they might be just close. They are holding each other close. Maybe they are dancing to a romantic song and they are smooching at the same time. Maybe they are resting their heads on each other's shoulders. You are having a smooch.
Yeah, smooching, kissing, cuddling.
Smooch.
Similar to the word you mentioned earlier, similar to lovey-dovey. Similar in a way, but smooching is more, you're very close, isn't it, I think?
Yes.
Yes.
Not necessarily kissing, but you might be close together. You are in an embrace. You are embracing. Here's another one. I like this word. Cuddle as well. Cuddle. You can cuddle anywhere. You can cuddle in bed. You can cuddle on the floor. You can cuddle together on the sofa when you're watching television. You can cuddle on a cold day where maybe you're outside and you are both very cold. So you cuddle up together. You cuddle up. You get very close. And sometimes we cuddle because we are cold. We need to feel another person near us because we need to cuddle. Some people like to cuddle their pet. Maybe you have a dog that you like to cuddle up to. Is it possible to do that?
It looks like Victoria and Tomek's affair is already over.
Oh, that was short.
Yes, because Victoria has said that her husband is very jealous and he's very strong.
Yes. So there might be a crime of passion taking
Yes.
place there. So we have to be careful.
We do. We do.
I don't want my live stream to be responsible for any murders.
You nipped our affair in the bud.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's a good expression.
To cut something.
Yes, so a bud is something is a flower. A beautiful flower is waiting to blossom. Something beautiful is waiting to emerge from a bud. So the bud of a relationship, you could say. So if you nip off that bud, it never gets to express itself. It's never realised. You never see the beauty behind the bud.
Yes. So if you nip something, you cut it. You nip
Yes.
that thing. You stop it. You stop the thing from happening. I think we have one more word. It's somewhere down there. There it is. Kiss.
Now, we all know what that is, Mr. Duncan.
But it can be used in other ways. Did you know that?
Pray tell.
Well, of course, if two things come together and they touch each other, but they don't crash, they just lightly kiss. So two things might meet and they come together and they like that.
Like two balloons.
Two things come together and kiss.
Yes, you can use that as a, say if two big objects like two boats, obviously if they collided, there'd be a collision. But if they just sort of gently knocked into each other,
Yes.
you say they, or you can say in a game of, for example, billiards
Yes.
or snooker,
Balls.
the balls just kiss each other. That means they just
Yes.
lightly touch.
So they don't slam into each other. They don't crash. They just kiss. And of course, if you use your lips to kiss another person, you might kiss another person on the lips, or you might kiss them on their cheek. You might kiss them on their nose. You might kiss them on their neck.
Like those pigeons. Or you might, that was, neck and beaks. Have we talked about a crush? Have we talked about having a crush?
Yes.
On somebody?
A crush, that's a good one.
Valentin, thank you for that. A crush, if you have a crush on somebody, it means that, you're probably in love with them, physically attracted to them.
Yes, it's the feeling without the actual romance.
Yes.
So you have a crush. It's someone maybe you admire. So you can admire someone, but maybe that feeling becomes very strong and overwhelming. So you can describe that as a crush.
It's like a developing feeling, a developing relationship. You can say, "Well, I've got a bit of a crush on the boss at work."
Really?
No, that's not a statement of fact.
Okay.
It's an example of how to use the expression. I've got a bit of a crush on the boss at work.
Yes, or maybe a pop star.
Yes, or a pop star.
Maybe your favourite K-pop singer. Maybe that cute one. Well, they're all cute.
You're almost saying that you've got romantic feelings for them, but there's no way on earth it could ever happen.
Yeah.
If you've got a crush on a pop star, then you're never going to get involved with them. It's all sort of just not real.
Yes.
It almost isn't real when you have a crush on somebody.
No.
It's sort of you're a bit mixed up, probably, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you have the feelings, but without the actual motivation to go up to
Yes.
them. So that's why often people will have a crush on a person that they know they can never be near. So that's why I use the pop star, maybe a handsome pop star, or a handsome movie star, or maybe even someone who presents an English teaching live stream. Perhaps.
You've probably got lots of people having a crush on you.
I don't think.
I would imagine, because being a sort of a teacher, it's people often have crushes on their teachers at school. I had a crush actually on the French teacher
Oh, okay.
at school.
Was it a male or female?
It was a female, actually. Just
Okay.
shows you,
That's confusing.
possible.
That's
It's
very.
possible.
That's very confusing.
I was so devastated by her rejections that I swapped sides. No, but no, I still remember her name, Mademoiselle Fabre. She was from France, and
Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle Fabre. Her name was, or Fabre.
Oh.
I've got a picture of her. Yeah,
Really?
She knew I had a crush on her. It's almost impossible, because I was probably, how old would I have been? Probably 14, 15. No, I think I was 16. And she was probably in her early 20s. So I was obviously learning French at school. And along comes this beautiful French girl. woman, young woman.
A woman?
And I think all the young boys had a crush on her.
Okay.
And you can say had a crush because, it's that sort of, nothing's ever going to happen.
That's it.
Because you're just a schoolboy and she is a grown woman. So it's a crush because it can't ever happen. Well, I mean, it could do. It would have been illegal.
Well, it does happen.
It does happen, yes.
It does happen.
But yes, I mean, she was very nice. She knew I had a crush. I used to write her letters and all sorts of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
There's hope for you girls out there.
I'm not sure if I want to know any more of that story.
I've still got a letter she wrote to me when she went back to France.
Oh, okay.
And a photograph that I took of her. It was 1976. So actually, how old was I? I was 15. I was 15. And 1976 was this blazing hot summer in the UK.
It was the summer of the drought.
And I had a crush on the French teacher.
Good.
So there we go.
You'll learn something.
Lewis is going.
Okay.
Bye, Lewis. You're obviously off to prepare for Valentine's Day tomorrow. Special day that you've got to prepare for.
Okay, Steve.
So have a lovely time.
Okay. Thank you very much for all of those lovely comments today. It's nice. It's nice when we share these little moments of time together, things that have happened to you in your life, and sometimes we share things that happen to us. But of course, our lives are not that exciting, really. So we don't really have much. We don't have much to actually explain or express.
Well, I'm living a life on the stage.
What did you do today then?
Today I was going through HMS Pinafore.
HMS Pinafore.
Gilbert and Sullivan. We're performing that in 2 weeks' time.
Do people still watch Gilbert and Sullivan
They
show?
do, yes.
Do they?
Yeah, we've got lots of people coming to watch our 2 performances.
Are they actually alive though?
What, Gilbert and Sullivan?
No.
They are definitely dead.
The audience.
Well, they will be on the elderly side. That is correct. You are right in that assessment. But I don't know how popular it is across the world, but certainly in America it's still very popular.
Yeah, okay. I will take your word for it. Yes, you can have captions, live captions. If you press C on your keyboard, you have live captions. They can be made to appear. And of course there will be captions and subtitles later on as well. You can watch this live stream again as many times as you want. You can watch it once, twice, or 1,000 times if you want. It is entirely up to you. It's been an interesting one today. I have to be honest with you, Steve. It has been a very interesting live stream today. We've had a lot of things to talk about. We've talked about love. We've talked about romance. We've talked about lots of things. But there is one thing we haven't really talked about, and that is your birthday.
Well,
it's Mr. Steve's birthday.
How can you do it justice in 8 minutes?
It's Mr. Steve's birthday on Wednesday. But we won't be here. We're not doing a live stream on Wednesday. There will be a recorded lesson, a brand new lesson that I was making yesterday. And it's my first outdoor lesson, the first lesson I've made outside this year. So there is something to look forward to on Wednesday. And we will be sharing our birthday, Mr. Steve's birthday with me. Of course, it won't be as big as last year. If you remember last year, Steve, well, I really did go all the way last year. I bought you some lovely presents for your big birthday. So this Wednesday, it's not a big birthday. We have to wait a few more years for the next big birthday.
We do. But yours will be coming up soon.
August.
Well, yes.
That's a long way.
I meant, not many years before you have a significant birthday.
No, about 3 years, I think. 3 years, and then I will have the same big birthday that Mr. Steve had last year. That's right. Right. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream, and I hope it has been useful to you. Can I say a big thank you once again, because I received a lovely donation, Mr. Steve. A big donation. Can I say thank you to Elspeth Horilla? I hope I pronounced your name right, for your lovely donation. Thank you very much for your lovely donation that you sent to PayPal. And I suppose it's worth mentioning that all of my lessons, everything I do is free, including my live streams. I don't charge anything for any of this. So can I say thank you once again to Elspeth for your lovely donation.
Where is Elsbeth from? Do we know?
Switzerland.
Wow. Okay, that's lovely. So thank you as well for that. Helps to keep Mr. Duncan's buying equipment that is constantly breaking.
Well,
And
my computer, can I just tell you a story? My computer is holding on for dear life.
by a thread.
By a thread. It is holding on. It is just about working. I have a few problems with my computer. It's now over 4 years old. So I've been using this computer for 4 years without any breaks. And it is on.
Hasn't even been switched off.
It is on for most of the time, doing something, either editing my videos or streaming like we are now. But the computer is having problems, and I am, over the next couple of months, hopefully, I'm going to update some of the parts inside, some of which have worn quite badly because it's been used constantly. So that's one of the things I will be using some of the donation money to put my computer right, so I can do this, carry on doing all of this, you see.
16th of February is National Day in Lithuania.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
Now we know that. We'll have to remember that. Maybe I should come to Lithuania.
Yes, but you could celebrate your birthday 1 year in Lithuania.
Part of our world tour. The flags will be out. How interesting. National Day in Lithuania on the 16th of February.
I have to say,
Fascinating.
I think that's a good thing. I think it's great that you can have some pride in your nationality, even if it's
Yes.
just once a year. So here, we don't do it anymore. We used to have big celebrations for our National Day, but we don't really do it anymore.
George's Day.
Yes, we feel a little afraid to do it now. There is a certain amount of embarrassment.
Nationalism has been suppressed.
Yes. So, I
in the UK.
suppose there is a right type of nationalism
Yes.
and a wrong type. And we all know the wrong one. But I think it's nice sometimes just to have a little bit of a celebration.
Yes.
A celebration.
You can be proud of your country,
I
can't you,
think
and where
so.
you live without being aggressive towards other people
I
in
don't.
other countries.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest.
Yesterday was Marwa Mohammed's birthday.
Yes,
So congratulations for yesterday.
I did mention that earlier.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I will keep nearly deleting people.
Please don't delete anyone. Mr. Steve's giant hands will sometimes delete or block you. But it's not me. It's
Well,
not.
Tran's birthday's coming soon. Well, let us know when it is, and we will celebrate with you on the live stream.
Who is that? Hua Tran.
Tran.
Oh, okay. Hua Tran. Thank you very much. So your birthday is also coming up in February.
Eva is going to visit Lithuania in the summer. Not sure, but thinking of going there.
Ah,
And Tomek says it's a beautiful country, so maybe we should think about going there as well.
yes. I'm just wondering if you are going to meet up with Vitas at all. Maybe you might arrange a little face-to-face meetup. So that would be quite good. And that's something that we are planning, by the way. A lot of people have asked. Last Wednesday, many people were asking about the big meetup. We are hoping to do that maybe this year, or I think it's more likely next year, judging by the...
We've got to keep the momentum going. People are interested now.
Steve, I don't know if you've noticed on the news, but I don't think it's a good
good time of year to visit Paris at the moment. It's a little chaotic, let's just say.
There's always something going on.
And there's other things as well going on in the world. But it might be this year. It might be next year. But we are hoping to have a little rendezvous. You see what I did? The
I
French.
think May would be a good time because it won't be too hot.
So we will. Anyway, we're not saying dates or times. We don't know yet. But we would love to do it. And we would love to see all of you as well together in one place. And that's all I can say about that at the moment. Talking of saying things, Steve, it's almost time to say goodbye.
How sad.
This live stream is coming to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had a lovely time. You see. Did you love it?
Yes, you can say you had a lovely time. It felt not actual love, but it was a nice time,
Yeah.
a lovely time.
Pleasant.
And we say that tonight when we go out with friends. Didn't we have a lovely time? You know, nothing nasty was said. It was just nice, lovely. Felt like almost like love.
You had a great experience.
Platonic love, of course.
It was lovely. I hope you have had a lovely time as well. I'm going, and Mr. Steve is going right now. Thank you, Steve. And we will see you not on Wednesday. When we're not here Wednesday. Well, I'm not here on Wednesday, but we are back together next week. Next Sunday, which I think is the 20th next week.
Thank you. And lovely to be here once again with you all. And I will be here again next Sunday. So look forward to seeing you then. Have a lovely week.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. He has gone. Yeehaw! That's it. It's almost time to say goodbye. It's been an interesting 2 hours. I've been with you for 2 hours. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. We have a recorded lesson, a new lesson on a Wednesday. It is my first lesson recorded outside this year. And I will be back with you next Sunday. Mr. Steve will be here as well. We are celebrating Steve's birthday on Wednesday, but we won't be here live. We are doing something different this year. Thanks for your company, and I will see you later. I hope you have enjoyed today's live stream. I hope it's been a lot of fun. See you soon, and have a good weekend and enjoy the rest of your week as well. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you later. And of course, until we meet here again, until we all join together once more, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Stay happy. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. And remember, you might not realize it, but somewhere, someone loves you. A lot. Ta-ta for now.